Blink. Underappreciated. Underestimated. Beautiful. In my opinion, you can use all of these to describe Blink in Destiny 2. Perhaps the most slept-on PvP movement ability there is. But if you know the truth of Blink, the potential it holds, then you're one of the special few. Our numbers may be small, but we all know the one truth of this world. Blink is beauty. Hello, I'm Roger, but you can call me Roger. If you've come here, that can only be because you want to get better at using Blink. And if that's the case, then you're a friend of mine. But who am I to tell you how to get better? Well, I'm just a guy that loves to use Blink, and I've learned a lot of things that I'd be honored to share. Some things are rather simple, but should nonetheless be told, while some are more advanced. So, if you do me the pleasure of listening to this random guy for a bit, then I'd love to share with you. Let's get started, shall we? Now, as I said, some tips are simpler than others, but trust me, you will get to more advanced things later on. Just in case you are truly new to Blink, if you've never traveled through space-time to another point in reality then, you need to know that before you take that first flap of your eyelids, you need to put on your helmet. This helmet, to be exact. Astrocyte verse. Let's take a look. Blink further and more frequently. Weapon readies quickly out of Blink and radar remains up. If you try to use Blink and do not have this on, you're going to look like a fresh salmon flopping up on the shore. Please, for the safety of you and all those around you, except for your enemies, keep your helmet on at all times. Okay, so, you go to blink away from a guy unloading his entire mag into your left cheek, but even though your blink looked like it went off, you still die. Why is that? Well, there's something you need to understand, and that is, your hitbox will never truly go away when you blink. Watch this clip to see what I mean. Whoop. Yeah, that's a good example of just because you blink doesn't mean your hitbox goes anywhere. Wherever you started blinking, your hitbox stays exactly there until the blink completely finishes, and then your hitbox becomes where you're blinking to. So he just kept shooting where I originally was, and he killed me. So, as you can see, and as past Roger explained, you need to be careful of when you blink, or the only place you'll be ending up is a shallow grave. Want to do that cheesy stuff hunters do to you, but don't want to dishonor thousands of years of heritage by playing hunter? Well, I've got just the tip for you. There, it's that easy. Blink above doorways. And I can guarantee you'll start getting people to run right into your next shotgun blast. Think about all the times you've been chasing a pesky hunter, and they'd run through a doorway, give a hop, skip, and a jump, and then turn your brain into Mama's famous potato and shotgun slug soup before you could turn that pretty little neck up. Well, now that hunter can be you. I'll admit that it's not as good as a hunter job, but it's functionally the same thing, and I can say from experience that it can work wonders. Just check this out. There we go. And as a little side tip mixed in with this one, always remember that if you're standing still when you blink, you'll go straight up. Trust me, it comes in handy. Have you ever been stuck in between a rock and a hard place? Well, consider blinking out, dummy. No, really. You need to use your blink to get between cover. This is such a big thing to learn and utilize, and I feel like it's what separates blink from all the other forms of movement. Can a Titan float through space-time? No, I didn't think so. But us Warlocks can. Let me show you some examples. So from that, I think you see what I mean about how important this is for Blink players. Think about how strong it is that we can travel entire gaps without showing a single bit of our hitbox. The only thing to remember is you have to jump to start a blink. So, watch that noggin before you go blink into that wall in front of you. So, you're addicted to Blink to Warlock, huh? Well, that's understandable, but consider trying out the other trees. I'm personally a huge fan of Mill Tree with Nova Warp. It's the only roaming super Warlocks have with Void, and paired with Blink and some time to learn it, it can be incredibly effective. But top and bottom tree can be incredibly effective as well, whether it's the shutdown potential of having a Nova Bomb, and the extra survivability from Devour, or the ever-menacing top tree with Slova Bombs, and Charge Grenades. Anything can be incredibly deadly, so try them all and see what works for you. Because if you're going to dedicate yourself to learning Blink, then you might as well dedicate yourself to learning everything that Void has to offer. Alright, this is the last tip for this video, but it's one of the most important, and that's to learn when to press your jump button the second time, depending on where you want to blink. Now, there's a lot more that goes into it than just that. You have to consider if you're sprinting or not, if you're looking up high enough, the timing of the second press to trigger the blink. All of these things will have drastic effects on your blinks and where they will make you end up. I'll hop in game to show you some examples. Alright, so I'm going to show you a few different maps here and some of my favorite places to apply some perfect little blinks. If you ever spawn here on Cauldron, I love to run through this door immediately. Get a nice blink here, and you can perfectly land right behind cover here. You want to make sure you press it perfectly there, just so about half a second after you jump, you're going to land right behind cover, because what we don't want is to come in too sharp and look up too high. You know, that's going to give us way too much airtime. Someone can easily snipe us through that doorway. If they can get up here quick enough and control if it's been longer in the match or whatever, that's not going to be good for us. So, you just want to make sure you're coming in, boom, right up there. And then you can crouch immediately, you'll be right behind cover. So that's one that I always like to use on this map. Alright, so we're on Dead Cliffs here, this is another spawn. You're coming in to get out to this side or the other side. When I spawn on this side, this is actually one of my favorite spawns because you can just get a really nice, perfect blink up here and just get straight onto the flag. So that is one of my favorite starts because it's just so seamless. Even if you spawn back then, you know, you're just running in, right off these stairs, wait a second, you know, a little slide if you want to. You're going to go straight up on this ledge and get right to the flag. So that's a real easy one that I love to do. So always keep that in mind off the spawn. You're going to get to that flag before a single other one of your teammates, and you'll probably end up capping from it. The other one to keep in mind here, if you're on the sniper lane, you want to run inside. Go right here. There you go. Just fly right in. Get through that window. Get through the door frame. That's going to give you some nice cover from down there. A lot of people love to snipe here as well. That's going to be very safe for you, so always keep that one in mind if you're ever running away, need to get in here quick, whatever. It's a great option. Alright, this last one here, we're on Fortress. Got this nice spawn over here. I feel like I usually always spawn on the other side of the map, but if you do happen to spawn here, either at the beginning of the game or just throughout the game, or you're just running through this area, this is a highly contested area a lot of the time, you can just run up here. You have the doorway, of course, but I love to just go straight through that window. It's so satisfying to blink through that thing. I don't know about, let's see. Oh, okay, you can blink right out of it too. I don't do that often, but of course it's always an option. It's such a good rotation point. People are really expecting you. They see you on the radar, you come through that doorway, maybe run around to the side, go around here. But when you're a blink user and you just, you know, perfectly fly through that window, slide up and shotgun somebody, they're gonna be quite surprised, you know, and that's one of the best part about Blink is that element of surprise, so make sure you're using that. As you can see there, you can have very precise movement with your blinks. Now, much of this is going to come with time and muscle memory, until one day, you'll be perfectly zipping around without even thinking about it. I'm gonna link a video made by Core DNA in the description and in the top right of the video. They show off more in depth how blinking at certain points, and even where you're looking when you blink can impact your blinks. So if you're interested in nitty gritty, then check that out and tell them Roger sent you. I think it's time to send you all off for this one though. This seems like as nice a place as any to end the video. Well, hopefully you learned something new or useful today. I had a lot of fun putting this together for you all. I have more tips that I'd love to tell you all, but I think I'll be saving that for a part 2 if you guys are interested in that. And if you have any tips of your own, leave them here in the comments and maybe I'll put them in a future video. Feel free to check out any of my other content. If I'm in PvP, then I'm always using Blink, so if you want to see me using it in action, then go ahead and check out some of my other videos. If you enjoyed, then I'd appreciate it if you left a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload in the future. That's all for me now, though. Have a great day, Guardians.